episode 4. Before we start, we want to say how to get on the podcast. If you want to get on the podcast, DM us on Instagram at athlete_cinema. Yeah,
I'm Stoney once again.
I'm Macartney. Let's bring the guest in. Is he here?
He's here.
What's going on, athletes? What's up, guys? I'm Matt Ramos. I'm a 2018 Cadet World Champ, 2022 Senior Open Champion, and I also wrestle at Purdue University, and I'm happy to be on board.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it rolling.
Alright, so first thing, want to just talk about movies we've seen recently?
Yeah, I'll start off. Last episode I said I watched Despicable Me, so I had to watch the sequel.
Did you wear the suit? Is that like one of the new ones? Or is that the Minions? Are they like
that
two
was the
different?
Minions Rise of Gru. I mean, it's basically the same movie, just like a different story.
Oh.
And then I watched The Truman Show, which...
What's the Truman Show?
It's a Jim Carrey movie, and like he's like, they build this building around him that's like the size of a city, and basically they took him as an orphan.
Yeah, he's like isolated.
Yeah,
from
everything, and literally they just like raise it, and then he figures out like he's like in this thing, and he's always afraid of water, and he finally sails out, and they control the weather and everything.
Is that on TV or is it like on
It's
Netflix?
on Netflix.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Great movie. What about you, Cartney?
I watched... What did I watch? I watched Semi-Pro, Will Ferrell movie. Great movie.
Jackie.
Oh yeah, Jackie, man. Classic. I watched Iron Man.
Wait, the first one?
First one.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah,
actually.
everybody was giving me crap about not watching superhero movies, so boom.
It's good to hop on. I feel like if you haven't like seen one, someone's like, you gotta watch this one and that one all in order to like get something like the Avengers.
Yeah, I tried to like watch them in order. I told you, Stoney, that like it started with the Captain America, this one where it's like,
it's very slow. It's like,
very slow movie. Didn't get into it that much, and then Trey, my roommate, was like, watch Iron Man, and I think it was like the engineer kind of in me that liked that movie, but. And then, like, the whole movie, I was just thinking, Elon Musk is actually this dude. Like,
Literally.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Are you guys all caught up with, like, the multiverses, like, how everything's connecting, like, in Doctor Strange and all
like
that?
I'm pretty much all caught up in Marvel, besides, like, She-Hulk.
Okay. Oh, isn't that one being released? Or is it
That's, like,
already
out now.
Okay,
I know
sweet.
Hayden watches it. I just haven't got into it yet.
I think the last movie in theaters I watched was Doctor Strange, and like the new one, like going into the multiverse, and I thought that was pretty cool. It's like cool how like the Avengers are like implementing all the like connecting multiverses. Like in the Loki show, they start like he broke open the multiverse, and now all the movies are starting to connect, and
it opens up.
Like the Fantastic Four is now in it. Like I think that's crazy. Like no way.
Yeah. I want to get to the point where I know what you guys are talking about. Have you seen any recent movies, Matt?
Yeah, I was on HBO, and I think last night I watched the new Candyman. I think it came out a couple months ago, but there was like a older. I haven't watched the older one, but I watched the new one. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, I've seen the older one.
I think it was like it took place in Chicago, so I thought that was pretty cool because I'm from the suburbs around there, but. Thought that was pretty cool, and I also watched Perks of Being a Wallflower. If you've ever seen that, I like that type of movie because like it's not you don't see a lot of movies that are like that, and like you don't really know what's going on until like the end. Like you see little clips of the memories, and then as the movie goes on, then like you start to get what's happening. And I like those type of movies where it builds suspense, and you're like, what is happening, and then it starts to make sense over time. So
yeah, you watch a lot of TV shows too, don't you? You're a big anime guy.
Yeah, I've been 2 years ago. I started getting into anime. I'd always watch like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Mavatar up in here. But I watched Demon Slayer and like Hunter x Hunter. You guys watch anime at all?
Yeah, I just started watching Naruto.
Oh.
A lot of teammates got into it, and then we had recruits here, and they were talking about it. I had no clue.
That's a classic right
there.
there.
Superhero movies, I just had no clue what they're talking to. I was told to start with Naruto, so a couple episodes deep in that.
You watch any?
I tried to watch one time, and it was a Hunter x Hunter. I watched the first episode, but it was really slow for me. Like I don't know. I didn't get into it. Like I'm open minded about it. Like I would get into it. Yeah, I just need somebody like you to like tell me, hey, watch this episode, and then I'll get into it.
Low key, I started with season 2 of Hunter x Hunter, and like my teammates like, this is all you need to know. Like, it's just introducing the characters. But once season 2 came around, it started, like, all the action started to get into it and the story started to align. So I was like, that's what's up.
That's because, like, everybody tells me about, like, anime is, like, the first season or first several episodes is introducing characters and, like, building up to the fight scene that's going to happen.
It adds into it, too.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I know last episode we did this with Abby Ellis where she was a basketball player. It's going to be harder for a wrestler, but she was a basketball player. She named off her top 3 favorite basketball movies. So we're going to ask Matt, we'll take it easy, your favorite wrestling movie.
I'd say my favorite wrestling movie, I'll go to like one on like Flow Wrestling. If you don't know what Flow Wrestling is, it's like a big platform with all wrestling. They put documentaries on famous wrestlers and they make movies about them too that aren't considered movies but are pretty much movies in the wrestling world. But outside of that, I'd say, what's the movie with like Shoot and like the guys trying to...
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest would probably be my one, just because a lot of movies don't really describe wrestling as like, they kind of like make wrestling look a lot weirder than it is, but I'd say that one would be one of the better representations. And also, what is that one that won like the Academy winner?
The Foxcatcher?
Foxcatcher, yeah. I haven't seen that one yet, but I heard that was pretty good too.
Yeah, I really like that. Not Jim Carrey, Steve Carell and Foxcatcher playing DuPont. I thought that was really good acting. What's your favorite Flow film?
My favorite Flow film would probably be, I haven't seen a lot. I just watched the Edinburgh one where our coach is from, AJ Shop, and that one was like very inspirational. It pretty much shows like that any team could get a national trophy. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you have multi-million-dollar like buildings or everything like that. It matters like what you do in the room and how you train and approach things. So I really like that. But probably looking at Henry Cejudo working with Terry Brands was a really good one. And that's probably my favorite because it showed like what he had to go through. He was like one of the youngest Olympic wrestlers to get a gold medal in the Olympics. So I thought that was a pretty good storyline, especially for that documentary.
For sure. Stoney, do you have one?
I really like Terry.
Yeah.
About Terry Brands and how he like runs away from wrestling, gets away, and then comes back to sport and really good. And then I liked Daniel, or what's his name? The Wild Man. Wrestled for Iowa.
Oh yeah, I wrestled.
The bigger guy. Yeah.
I wrestled with him. I would go up north and by the Chicago area, and he would be in there, and I'd just scrap with him.
He's a sweet dude. Like his storyline, how he's so old and he comes back to sport, and like when he gut wrenched Stoney and Ramos off the mat.
Yeah.
Wait. No, I'm thinking.
Daniel Dennis.
Daniel Dennis.
He's the little guy.
I was thinking of what is it, Macho?
Yeah.
That's who I was saying.
Steve Mott. He like kicked a Michigan State wrestler.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Who was that? A wrestler after the NCAA in the finals? He tried doing a round off backflip.
That's
and
Metcalf.
Metcalf, yeah. That was cool.
He got headlocked like 3 times.
Yeah, the guy, I think it was Cadwell or something
Darren
like that.
Caldwell.
Yeah,
he was
a
like
gangster.
I loved watching him growing up. My favorite 2 people to watch growing up were Darren Caldwell and Ed Ruth. I loved watching
Ed Ruth was effortless.
Yeah,
and, like,
literally.
I wrestled like him as a kid and just not try. My
Just
dad
be flowing.
Just yelled at me.
all I would do in practice, near side curls over and over.
It's the way to go. It's the way to go.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get into the top 10 movies now. I know that you're not a big movie guy. We get it. So we can think of it on the spot.
I'd probably say, coming straight out the top, I like a lot of comedy movies too. And
I feel that.
I think when I think of comedy, I was thinking of like 21 Jump Street, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And 21 and 22 Jump Street always gave me a good chuckle.
Which one's better?
I'd say 21 was OG.
Yeah,
21 was OG
that's
for me.
what I would say.
That one was funny. I had a lot of funny. Shot me in the, at
Yeah.
the end. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Hill does a real good job in that. As long as Channing Tatum, kind of like a duo you wouldn't really think you would see.
Literally.
And they just do a phenomenal job.
They did great.
Speaking of Channing Tatum, he's one of those like. There's very few actors that wrestled in high school, but like Channing Tatum is one of them. And then I think it's Chris Pratt. He was like a state place winner in high school. So yeah.
Wasn't Channing Tatum in the Foxcatcher?
Yeah. He plays Mark Schultz.
I do remember seeing that in like the trailer. I would say another movie too would be The Interview.
Oh, yeah.
That one was a classic. I would I'll go if I see it on like Netflix or like Hulu. I'll be like, I gotta watch that again. Dude, that one always makes me laugh.
Yeah, that's a good like movie to just have on when you have people over. Just like throw the interview on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Eminem's gay. Eminem's gay on our show. What did he just say? That one always gets me.
I think any Seth Rogen movie just makes me laugh.
Yeah. Especially with James Franco in it, those two
yeah.
together are so good. That's like my favorite movie. This Is the End has those two in it, and that's why it's my favorite movie. They're just funny together.
Is that the one with the zombies?
Well, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's all the famous people. They just playing themselves.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know Seth Rogen plays freaking Mantis in Kung Fu Panda?
Really? I didn't
Like,
know.
I never knew that until like a couple weeks ago.
Kung Fu Panda is the way to go. Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I'm not a big Kung Fu Panda guy.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
I know.
Another movie I would say, getting away from comedy, I'd say would be Summer. What's it called? Midsummer. Midsummer. Have you guys ever watched it before or no? It's like, I'd say it's like a horror movie, but it's also based on like what I was saying about like Perks of Being a Wallflower. Is you don't really know what's going on, and it's like this friend group. Am I allowed to like put spoilers or anything, or just?
Oh, go for it.
All right, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Midsummer. It's pretty much a group of friends, and a lot of tragic stuff happens to the girlfriend of the buddy, and they go to an outside world country, and it's a big cult that they get to, and they don't know what, they just think it's a vacation, and they said one of the buddies is like, yeah, we do this every 10 years, and they bring like 6 of their friends, and they do like, they give them like, it's like drugs. They give them like psychedelics and stuff. It's like a spiritual thing like that they told them. And they're doing like drugs every day. And the more and more as the film and as the movie goes on, it's like a cult. And they're like trying to like get the people and like kind of like kill them or add them. I still don't even know like the main like moral of the movie because it was just
good,
it was really mind-boggling because you're like people are jumping off cliffs and it's like what is happening right now, like so if you really want to see a suspenseful horror movie, like that one's one of my top like movies for like what is happening right now because you don't see that every day.
Have you ever seen that? Reminded me of the show, it used to be on maybe HBO Max. It was called like The Island or something something. It's something about how these people go on this vacation and then this guy is like, hey, I can take you to this secret beach. So he brings like 10 people out there and it's a huge science experiment. And there's something to do with like the magnetic waves in the air. It makes people age faster.
Oh, yeah.
So is this a new one?
Kind of. Like 2020, 2021 maybe. But yeah, they age faster. So like this girl, there was like a 3-year-old girl who went there and goes to sleep and wakes up the next morning and she's like 45. Oh, wow. So like the people who go there who are like the moms and dads who are 45 years old, like they die in a day.
Wasn't there like one girl who was like just recently pregnant?
Yeah.
And she like had a baby within hours.
What?
Yeah. At the end of the movie, there's 2 people left who are brother and sister. They came there when they were probably 10 years old and they don't get out until they're like 45. They find out that if they swim through the water, there's like a coral reef under that like blocks the
aging.
Yeah, like blocks the electromagnetic waves or whatever.
How much would you say they would like age within like a day? Like
there was some. I looked it up. The director put out like a I don't know, like a conversion thing, but it was like 30 minutes is actually I did it in the movie too. It was like every 30 minutes is a year or something, or 30 minutes is like 5 years or something like that, but it's crazy fast. Like the whole movie spans over, like it's a long movie, it's 2 hours, but the whole movie spans over like a day and a half.
No,
like that one too. There's like so many characters and they're like showing every character's kind
There's probably so much going on just because it's all in that day too.
Well, like the crazy stuff that happens is like when people get old, some people like go deaf. So like one of the ladies like loses her hearing and like can't hear, and then she gets killed by another guy who, as he got older, like went crazy. So was
it like a village that they were like why were they like killing each other?
So it's the only people that like killed other people were people who were crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. That's super good.
What's
movie.
that called? The Island?
I think it's called The Island. I could be wrong, but I think it's called The Island.
It's got like a girl's like foot is like normal.
Yeah,
like a skeleton foot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I got two more that are like popping up in my head that I really like. One's another horror movie. Probably I'd say one of my favorite horror movies would be The Conjuring, the first one, just because like they're not like cheesy. Like you know how there's like I'll watch a scary movie and see like cheesy pop-up scenes and like it'll make me laugh. I'm like, all right, that wasn't even that scary. Like, but like The Conjuring had like a good like background and like everything like feeded into everything. And I thought it seemed very real. And I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story.
That's what I was gonna say. It's based on a true story, so that makes it even scarier. Any scary movie where like at the beginning or the end they're like show like real news articles, and I'm like, damn. Yeah.
My parents used to always tell me when I was growing up, they would be like, I'd watch them and be like, yeah, this is based on a true story. And I'm like, no way. And I'm like scared about everything. I'm like, I have to have the TV on at night. I'm like, I can't trust anything. I'm like, is this real? Like, I have to have the lights on for everything.
Is that your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, that and I'd say Midsommar. I'd say like Midsommar would be my favorite twisted horror. Like what the heck? Like mind-boggling. But I'd say a horror movie would be The Conjuring for sure. That one was a good one.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you like horror movies and you said you love comedies. Do you like any of the scary movies or like Haunted House where like, they take scary movies and like make fun of them?
Yeah, I like A Haunted House is a pretty good one. Like, hey Keisha, where'd your furniture go? And then like what was that? Haunted House 1, I think, or 2. It was one of those ones.
He like has an affair with his wife with Annabelle and stuff.
And for scary movie, I'd say Scary Movie 4. I think that one was the one with like Saw and like a bunch of other ones, but those ones, some are like really cheesy, but I mean, I think they're funny though. When the way that like if I've seen the horror movie, it makes it even better. Like if you have, so yeah, I'd say that Conjuring would be one of my top horror movies, and I'm thinking right now for my number one would be this movie called Freaks. It's a very like I don't think a lot of people know about it, and I want to bring it up because it's like such a slept on movie, but very good. And it's like the same concept of you don't know what's going on until the end. Because when you first watch it, it's like you'd think it'd be a horror movie. And have you guys not seen it before? So pretty much how it starts. You guys mind if I spoil it or okay? So it starts off with this little girl and her dad inside of like a barricaded house, and the dad's telling her all these things like, this is your name, this is who your mom is, and like the person watching it, you're like, okay, what is happening? Like who are they? Like you're trying to figure out what's happening. So that's why it kind of seems scary, and everything's boarded up. Like what are they running from? So the dad's telling her all these things, and when nighttime comes, she's alone, and she's like, oh, I wish you were here, my mommy. She calls her mommy, and then she like her mom pops up in the room like in the scene. It's like scary like sound effects, scary sounds, and the mom's like, who are you and stuff, and then she'll scream ghost, 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 and the dad comes up, she's gone, and she goes, there's no such thing as ghosts, like you're just like tripping. And as the movie goes on, there's so many things. She meets like her grandpa who was in like a ice cream truck, and he's like, come in the back of the truck, and like as you're watching it, you're like, what the heck? Like something's like, and you still have no clue what's happening, like who this girl is, who the grandpa is. Like, is this grandpa trying to kidnap her? Are there like aliens or something? So the grandpa takes her into the ice cream truck, takes her to the park, and he's like asking her all these questions like, do you notice anything? And there's signs on the street with like people with blood dripping from their eye. And her grandpa's like, does your eye do that? And she's like, no, my dad does though. And then you're thinking like, was she supposed to say that? Like, because she's never been outside of her house, and she snuck out of the house to go to that ice cream truck where the grandpa was. And long story short, they have superpowers, and so it's crazy. So that's the part that you don't know about is they have superpowers. The dad could freeze time and like in a bubble, and the house is in a bubble, and it moves slowly. But whenever he's sleeping, the time goes back to normal. But when he's awake, he uses all of his power throughout the day to like keep her inside the bubble. And he didn't know that his wife was still alive, and she was like in a bunker. And then they ended up they reached her because the girl figured out her superpower. I won't say it just because I feel like I'm spoiling a lot right now, but they end up contacting the mom, and it's just a very great movie. Very action, suspenseful, and like you just don't know what's happening until like the movie starts going on, and it's great.
What
great
is it
movie.
like? Where could you watch it at?
Last time I checked, Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it's still on there, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. But Netflix, I'd say, would be the best way to go.
It's called Freaks.
Freaks,
Gotcha.
Number one for sure.
Peacock. There you go.
Were you with us when we went to see The Black Phone?
Yeah,
That one was another good one.
that was a good movie
This kid
too.
gets kidnapped from like this guy who's pretty much has a bunch of like, what's it called when you have?
He looks like a purge mask.
What's it called when you have like a bunch of personalities?
Oh,
Like in the movie Split.
Yeah. Like he had a bunch and he always had a mask.
Yeah, I
But
know
like
what you're talking
this
about.
kid's in like this secluded room and there's like a phone that's like no wires or anything, but like it would just ring and people who died or like he just talked to, like he would get a call and like they would just talk to him and tell him how to get out and stuff. Like the kids that already have been kidnapped and stuff by this guy, like he would pick up the phone, like their ghost.
it's like their dead souls were able to talk through the phone and try to show them where to how to pretty much beat the guy pretty much and escapes, and like it reminded me of like a horror version of Stranger Things kind of. I don't know why, like not like in no like regards to like monsters or anything, but like the way that like they took that movie and route reminded me of
kind of
Stranger
like the
Things.
background of it, like it kind of looks like Hawkins almost.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a
I think
horror
that's what it
movie.
got me. Yeah.
And it's like that. Like I kind of went in there like having no like, okay, this movie's gonna be really good. And it was a horror movie, and I think we had a recruit in or something, and we ended up going to see it. And it was actually like a really good movie.
Do you guys? So when you see a horror movie, do you think it's scarier when it's taken back in time, like in the past, like in like the 1900s, or like nowadays?
I would say the later ones, like the
Yeah.
1800s ones. I don't know why. I just think that stuff's really crazy, and that whole like the witchcraft stuff.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know.
Sometimes
It's
I'm
just-
always watching a movie from back in time, like, why don't you look at your, like call someone on your phone, or
Yeah.
like look at the cameras, man. And I'm like, they don't got cameras back then,
Yeah,
so
I don't know why. It just seems like everything's scarier when it's in black and
And
white.
like
yeah.
the new like it's how it's still back in time, and like they're saying like every certain amount of years, like he comes up and blah blah blah. Like
It was a pretty
that's
good
kind of
one.
like scary. Like I mean, obviously it's not real, but like you think about it, well, Killer Clowns in 2016, like
That was crazy. That was a
years,
crazy
like,
time.
years
Yeah.
together, like kind of put you at the edge of your seat. But like I've never really gotten into horror movies. I mean, I watched pretty much the whole Saw series. I don't know if you've ever watched.
Oh
those.
yeah,
They're
Saw
actually
was
really good.
really good.
They're scary, but it's almost just how much you can do with blood and stuff.
Yeah. And it's almost like it makes you think like, damn, this could really happen. Like if someone's like sick and twisted like that, where like they could kidnap people. And I mean, isn't like the concept of Saw is like the people who he takes like
They've done like bad things.
Yeah.
And it's like
making them
basically,
pay for it.
if you want to like you put people through pain, so are you willing to go through pain to like save your own life?
Yeah.
And like I really liked.
Yeah. I love the Saw series. Those ones are twisted, but it's like it's really good.
As a little kid though, I could not like I watched E.T. and would freak out. Like
I know people that watch like Harry Potter and are like, oh my gosh, I can't watch it. I'm like, what? No
have you
way.
ever seen A Quiet Place?
I have not.
I was actually really impressed with that one. I mean, I've seen it in theaters and it's like the weirdest movie just because obviously there's some sound, but like it's like just dead silent for
Yeah.
50% of the movie.
Is that the one where like it's like a family and they gotta like do sign language and stuff?
Because one of the girls like she's deaf, so like it makes it harder, and like these monsters just feed off of like they hate sound, and like found out like her hearing aid like will make them freak out because the frequency's so high,
Yeah.
and they end up shooting them. And then they actually just dropped the second one.
I did
That
see
was
that. I did
really
see
good.
that.
They talk
Really?
about like the beginning of it and like how they first came, and then they kind of flash back to where it ended. But it's actually really good acting job by all the characters. And really good movie.
No way.
So it sounds like you like suspenseful movies.
Yeah. I mean sometimes, but if I hear like a movie's like pretty good, that's like like I won't ideally say I like comedies probably, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of good like suspenseful thriller movies that I think are pretty well
I'll
directed.
throw a suggestion out there that I didn't. So Christian, a
Mm-hmm.
roommate, told me to watch it, and he likes some different shows and movies. So I was like skeptical going in, but it's called Prisoners, or maybe it's just Prisoners.
Oh yeah, Prisoners with the kidnapped
Yeah.
daughter. That one was really good.
Crazy.
It's got Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal.
I feel like they should make like another one. Did you
Yeah.
see the way it ended? Like the way it ended, I was like, what the heck? Like I want to see more. Like I love the way like who was the? Do you know the name of the main character? I forgot his.
Like
he's
the
in a
dad.
Yeah,
Wasn't that Hugh Jackman?
I'm pretty sure. He's in a bunch of movies too.
I think the dad was Hugh Jackman, and then Jake Gyllenhaal was the cop in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that movie crazy good,
Yeah.
super suspenseful. Like I didn't know where the daughter who got kidnapped was the entire movie, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on until,
Yeah.
and then you find out at the end. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Those are the best. The jaw dropping movies.
Yeah, that one had a really good like cliffhanger ending too, where it was like the cops were walking by and he was blowing the whistle while he's in the tunnel, and then it just cuts off.
Yeah.
Super good movie.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
Damn, that might be in my top. I totally forgot about that
Yeah.
movie. That was a really good movie.
I just watched that like maybe a month and a half ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
super good.
Yeah, solid. Very solid.
All right, we're ready to wrap it up.
I guess so. So, kind of like Cartney said at the beginning, when I get on the podcast, shoot us a DM at @the_cinema, and we'll be in touch with you. We got people lined up, so we're gonna try to get you in as soon as possible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Athlete Cinema.
Yep.
That's what's up. Way to make it happen.
Yep, for sure.
Go like and subscribe. Get it rolling.
See you on the next one.
Peace.
Yeah.